I'm Eric Futrell. I'm the youth pastor here at Beech Springs Baptist Church in Quitman, Louisiana. Did you know that during the pandemic, 1 in 3 practicing Christians stopped attending church services? Many of these believers never returned to participating in church life, and maybe you are one of them. Well, there are a number of dangers in not participating with others in church life, including increased anxiety and increased insecurity. One of the main dangers, however, especially if you're a parent, is that your lack of church attendance and your attitude toward church will affect your children and your grandchildren. Wendy Wang of the Institute for Family Studies, she wrote, "A decline in religious service attendance not only has the potential to negatively affect public health, but also family stability and population growth in America. It doesn't just affect you." She also writes that a lack of in-person interaction could weaken the social bonds within churches as the pandemic prolongs. As we know, religious service attendance is not only linked to having a social support network, but also to public health benefits such as less depression, lower suicide rates, and less drug and alcohol overdoses. Online services with people isolated at home are unlikely to offer the same level of benefits, and I would argue that they do not provide that same level of benefits. Now, as to the effect on your kids, Carl Trueman says this: "The church is losing its young people because the parents never taught their children that it was important." I think that applies across the board. It applies to family worship, and it also applies to whether you are in church every Sunday and what priority you demonstrate to your children church has on a Sunday. If the sun shines out and their friends are going to the beach, do you decide to skip church and go to the beach? In which case, you send signals to your children that it is not important. Now, we see the effect of this in Scripture. In Judges chapter 2, verse 10, it says, "There arose another generation after them who did not know the Lord, nor yet the work which he had done for Israel." The previous generation, they didn't follow God's instruction that he had given in Deuteronomy 6 and elsewhere to teach the next generation about God or what he had done. That progressed to a point where there was a generation who knew nothing about God. And so Judges 2:11 then says, "Then the sons of Israel did evil in the sight of the Lord." Now, Shane Pruitt has a post on social media that's been going around, and he talks about a 4-generation fade. In the first generation, the parents don't make church a high priority for their kids. The second generation, the kids grow up and they make it less of a priority for their kids. And then those kids grow up and make it no priority for their kids. And then those kids grow up and they don't have any concept of God whatsoever. And he sums it up: priorities today impact generations. Do you find yourself somewhere in that 4-generation fade? And if you do, you don't have to stay there. You don't have to continue that pattern. You can break it. All you have to do is make church a priority. Now, that doesn't mean that you have to come every single time the doors are open. There's nothing wrong with that, and it's actually very beneficial. But what it does mean is that assembling together with fellow believers on a regular basis, on a consistent basis, should be more important than many other things. For some of you, Sunday is your day off. For others, it's all about sports. For some of you others, it's about hunting and fishing. That's when you do that. But if you believe in Jesus, and you want your kids to believe in Jesus, and their kids to believe in Jesus, you've got to get yourself and them into a church. Jesus expects his people to gather with one another. Now, if you're in or near the Quitman area, we here at Beech Springs Baptist Church invite you to join us. We are here to help you and your kids and future generations to know Jesus and to live for him. And you can find us on Facebook. I'll provide the link in the description below. Now, if we're too far away for you to get to us, well, I do encourage you to find a solid Bible teaching church in your area where you can get involved. You don't want to miss out on what God has in store for you when you participate in the fellowship and worship with other believers. Thank you. May God bless you.